Welcome to the Quick Start Guide for the Agents Management Dashboard. This is the first project management interface to manage a team of AI agents like a team of employees. First, make sure that you've installed a clean Chrome profile and that there are no other Chrome extensions. To create a new Chrome profile, make sure you're in the latest version of Google Chrome, and then click your icon in the top right-hand corner and click Add. Click Continue without an account, and then call it CheatLayer. This is important because there are certain extensions like ad blockers, screen recorders that prevent automation, and this will ensure that everything works well for you. There are also certain features like simulating human key presses and sending unlimited data to Google Sheets, and that's only possible in Google Chrome and not other Google browsers like Edge or Brave. So make sure it's a Chrome browser, then log in to cheatlayer.com and proceed to the agents dashboard. Once you're in the agents dashboard, you may have already set up some agents and settings, so I'm going to ask you to reset everything and reset settings. And then you'll be presented with a blank version of the agents dashboard. There'll initially be no data or graphs and no agents here. And I recommend starting to test things without adding any keys or anything else because everything is functional without adding keys. So first, I recommend clicking Deploy Agent on the first community agent. This will add the agent to your list of agents. On the left-hand side here, you have a list of the teams of agents, and you can create new teams by clicking the plus button. You can switch between teams by clicking the team name. And what this will do is when you create or add new agents, it'll display or add them to that team. Each agent has a goal, a switch to turn it on and off, and a list of actions that you can perform. You can reset the agent, which will reset all the statuses. You can speak to the agent and edit the agent, which will allow you to test the agent locally. You can share the agent, which will add the agent to our community list. You can schedule the agent, which will schedule it using our fault-tolerant scheduling server, which means that you can use obscure month, day, every minute, up to the hour scheduling patterns, and it'll schedule the agent and specific task on our servers such that if your browser is closed, it'll queue the results to run it again. And you can schedule unlimited agents this way. This uses a unique feature, which is webhooks directly to your browser. We're one of the only services that allows direct webhooks directly to your browser. And that's also how you can trigger agents with webhooks. The Run on Postman button sets up a Postman workspace with most of the settings set up for you. Click Fork Collection. And then in Postman, it'll add a post request to trigger agents for you. In the body, you'll see that you'll need to set the agent ID, the agent task, and then your key for your account. You can find the agent ID right next to the goal. This is the agent ID for every agent. The task is the number of the step in the list of steps. So this is step 0, 1, 2, starting from 0. And the key is your user key, which you can find at the bottom of the billing page. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a user key. In the URL, send a post request to https://cheatlayer.com/triggers/extension. You can find more details about how to trigger all CheatLayer automations, agents, and Project Atlas requests using webhooks in our documentation. Additionally, there's a webhook to trigger requests in CheatCloud on our servers. We also have tutorials on how to set up Zapier to trigger automations, and you can trigger agents directly, for example, from your calendar. For example, to reschedule cancel meetings. We have an agent for that. Then you can also email agents by clicking this button. Each agent has an email address, and this allows you to set up autonomous email responders and sales teams. This also lets you set up easily personal assistants, and you can test that agent by emailing them directly using this button. So you can say, I'd like a demo video. For example, if this was a sales agent. And you can test how that agent responds. And it'll use Gmail. Make sure you're logged into Gmail. Or you can log into Google Workspace with any domain. Once you send that email, it'll trigger that agent along with the context of the body. So this allows you to trigger automations from emails and also do autonomous sales, autoresponders, personal assistants, a lot of useful things. I'm going to reset this agent. We also have the ability to embed agents on any website. Check out our tutorial for that. And you can remove agent. To start and test, let's run this first research agent. Agents break down complex automation tasks into manageable steps. This allows you to bypass the context limit in language models. This is how we allow agents to solve problems of unlimited complexity that typically GPT-4 would not be capable of. This breaks down problems of unlimited complexity into manageable tasks and allows workers to solve them in parallel. For example, this research agent is breaking down the task of performing scientific research. It collected all the research papers on GPT-4. It's now performing a summary of them in parallel. And then finally, it'll form an independent conclusion and send that and email that conclusion back to the user. Now that it's gotten all the summaries, it's open to worker to combine the summaries and perform an independent conclusion. And as you can see, we maintain the progress of the agents just like a project management interface as if these were workers. You can easily edit agents using the edit menu, and this is a no-code interface that allows you to edit the steps of agents. We believe we are the first and only agent management interface that allows you to directly edit steps, and this is a very powerful way to make functional agents because you don't have to rely on what they generate for themselves. If they hit a roadblock, you can guide them or teach them just like employees. For example, you can teach them what the price is for a service. And then save that. You can also test the agents here by talking to them.
I am an autonomous agent designed to analyze the latest research on GPT-4. My goal is to provide you with information and insights based on the research available. How can I assist you today?
Let's check what the pricing is.
I'm sorry, but I don't have access to pricing information. You would need to check with OpenAI directly for details on the pricing of GPT-4.
So you can see that the agent made a mistake, and now I'm going to teach the agent, just like an employee in simple language, how to respond. Except this time, I'm going to speak to the agent using my microphone. What is the pricing?
The pricing for the GPT-4 research paper scraping automation is $39 a month. We also offer enterprise plans upon request.
As you can see, it was easy to train that agent in simple language using this no-code interface, and anyone can do it in minutes. This allows you to deploy your own autonomous agents for your business easily. You can also change the voice of the agent and record or clone your own voice in agent settings. Now that you've verified the basics of agents and that the first research agent works, it'll have emailed the results of this to you. Next, I recommend searching the community agents and doing a guided study based on your specific use case. For example, we have sales automation, lead generation agents. You can build products like websites and Android apps, and marketing agents. In agent settings, you may notice that there are a bunch of keys. These are not necessary to set up initially. However, if you do things like autonomous sales or embedded agents, you may want to set up Supabase. And if you do things like building products, you may want to set up Vercel and GitHub. We previously required users to add their own OpenRouter or OpenAI key to access GPT-4, and that's no longer necessary because we now have our new fine-tuned model that performs as well as GPT-4 at 100 times the lower cost. You can optionally add your OpenAI key if you want to use your own OpenAI usage for GPT-4. If you want to clone your own voices using ElevenLabs, check out our YouTube tutorials for how to set that up, and then add your own ElevenLabs key. If you add HubSpot or Salesforce, the autonomous sales agents will automatically maintain the history of the conversations and the state of the leads for you. If you add Twilio, the agents have the ability to send and receive text messages. We're adding the ability for voice calls next. At the top of the dashboard, you'll see graphs that maintain how much hours you've saved per month and how many tasks you have remaining. The agents dashboard is divided into your personal agents and a list of the community agents that users are submitting. You can search for this in a real-time search. Or you can use the buttons to filter. I recommend starting with our predefined agents, editing them to your needs, and then once you learn how they work, you can deploy new agents by entering a goal at the bottom of the screen. And then click Run Agent. This will now define tasks for an entirely new agent. These agents are not always guaranteed to work, and there may be some trial and error because Project Atlas is not general AI, but we're finding that users are successful in editing tasks to help agents bypass roadblocks. This allows users to distill their deep industry insights to build functional agents for your businesses. This is much easier than certain other agent systems that don't allow users to edit tasks. Once it's finished generating the tasks, it'll populate the agent steps for you and then start running the agent immediately. It's now on step 2. If it ever fails in a step, for example, if I force it to fail here, it'll try to regenerate the task and actually try to fix itself. This is amazing because while we were designing these research agents, one of these middle tasks were constantly failing. And we didn't expect it to work because it was going to like over 20 regenerations. Except, as you can see, sometimes when it regenerates, it actually solves the problem and gets past the roadblock. Because in the regeneration steps, it basically takes whatever the inputs and outputs are and regenerates the phrasing to generate slightly different code. And while we were developing the research agent, it actually fixed itself after the 26th regeneration, which is amazing. And this new research agent that we just deployed worked. I'm sure that it did not find a cure for Alzheimer's, but you can actually see it does look at the latest research papers and forms at least significant avenues for continued research. Next, I'm going to show you how to set up Supabase. First, log into Supabase. Then create a new project. We can call it Agents Data. Create a password. This is going to take a few minutes. While we wait, we can set up the API key and URL. So copy the URL, go back to the Agents dashboard, set the Supabase URL. You'll see a check mark here. And then let's copy the API key next. Set the Supabase API key. And then in the final step, we're going to need to copy this config script. Go back to Supabase and let's wait for it to complete setting up. After it's completed setting up, we'll go to this SQL editor, paste in this config script and run it, and that'll set everything else up for us. Alright, it's done. So I'm going to go to the SQL editor, paste in the config script from our agent settings menu. We got this at the bottom here. And then click run. It'll say success, no rows returned. And then if we go to tables, we'll see that the table editor, we'll see that we've now added 2 tables, Agents CRM and Agents Data. This means that everything is set up in Supabase for you, and your agents will now allow you to have a conversational memory with all your unlimited thousands of leads in parallel. You can upload data, you can upload a knowledge base, PDF files, text files, so that your customers can speak against your business intelligence, and your agents actually get better over time. For example, your autonomous sales agents will implicitly learn things like what is high converting copy. This is a valuable business asset that stays with you because Supabase is open source. It can be self-hosted. You can host this yourself. And you have complete control over the data rather than, for example, Microsoft selling the data back to you. There's no platform risk here, and you can bring this to any new future language model like GPT-5, even if cheat layer disappears. So this is extremely useful. Next, I recommend taking a guided study through our YouTube and documentation based on your specific use case. Some users may need sales agents, some users may need marketing agents, some users may need to deploy a chat or embeddable agent against a knowledge base. And so really the next best step to help you save time is to search through our YouTube and documentation to figure out what agent is correct for you. And I recommend starting with the template agents and the commute agents because we're publishing the most valuable agents. If you discover a new useful agent for your business, please click Share Agent and join our community in Discord, building and discovering autonomous agents entirely in simple language.